Hey YouTube, Jedi Fuka here. In this video we're talking about the Season 2 news that is going on now. So if you guys go into your message center, you're going to have the server merger preview. It's going to have some information in there. Hopefully I can maybe somewhat clear some of this up. I've had a few people asking me some questions regarding this. So we're just going to go through some of this real quick. So to start out, they're of course noting that Season 2 is coming soon and the server mergers will begin on December 15th. Now, from my understanding is it's not everyone going to be merged on that day, but I could be wrong. I think that's just whenever they're going to start, and it's going to be based on each server player activity and strength. So we're going to be doing Chaos Clipsedra 1, going with Found Interplanar 5, which is my server, mixing with this one. So welcome, guys. And it's going to create this one, and then you can keep reading depending on which server you are. Depends on which one you go to. Now, the one thing that we need to come down to is the notes to kind of clear some of this up, which is right here. After the server merger, the active players on each player will be significantly increased. So this is being done so that we can have a lot more active server. Over the season, people kind of drop out. Some people quit and their characters are just inactive in the game. So this is going to help relieve some of those issues. Now this is also causing anxiety as far as the ranking goes for some people. I've even had people messaging me saying that they think this is going to make it hard for them to play, but you guys got to pay attention to the here. We are going to raise they're going to raise the rewards that we're getting up to rank 300. So next season your goal will be to be in the top 300 and you'll be able to get your mount and some of the other rewards that are going to be coming in through there. Now the server allocation is based on each player's server activity and strength, and additionally we will soon roll out the server transfer function. So this is the important one, is the transfer function. I've had people asking me about. This is what will allow players to transfer to other groups and servers that are merged on the same day. So the key here is that it's got to be you transferring to other servers merged on the same day. So this is where there's a little bit of confusion, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just kind of guessing on this. This says that this is going to start on the 15th, but because that's saying that you can switch based on the servers that are merged on the same day, I don't think they're merging every single server the same day. I think they're just going to roll this out the 15th and maybe do a few of these at a time. So my understanding of this is, say my server merges on the 15th and maybe the next two, I'm not for sure which ones will, but say that these three servers do their merging that next day. Because it happens on the same day, if you're in, say, my server and you want to go to the next server over, you should have that option to do that because the merge is happening the same day. This may even be like one of those things that occur after the merger where they allow you to move your character after things have occurred, as long as they move, as long as it's to a server that was merged on the same day as yours. So that's kind of my understanding of it, and just because it says that is what makes me think that we're not going to be doing all these server mergers at the exact same time. So it's one thing to know if you're trying to get on a different server that has your friends on it and your server's not merging with theirs. If your servers are merged the same day, you're still going to have that chance. Unfortunately, if they're not merged the same day, I'm not so sure that you're going to have that opportunity. And now we have the season settlement time is going to be December 15th. So that's just saying that everyone for the season is going to be completely over. Last time in Season 0, once this hit, the servers did not close immediately. What they did was you could still do your daily stuff, but all the rewards and stuff were set in stone. So if you wanted to keep playing a little bit of Arena, Vortex, stuff like that, you still could. You could do your daily quests, keep getting your little Wormire and the extra little purple dice if you wanted to, but other than that, there wasn't much going on in the server. It was just kind of time to take a break while they got the mergers rolling out. So for Season 0, we did have quite a bit of extra time. This time, there's probably not going to be as much. So we will be waiting to hear what the exact time is for the next season opening. Now, the next fun stuff that's going to be coming up is that once everything is open, we get a lot of new content. Just to go over this really quick, we're going to get the new region, as I'm sure most of you know, and it's going to be a sea region where we're going to get to be on some boats, and it looks like we're going to get to go underwater exploring some depths. We get the new mermaids that are going to be coming in, so it's going to be pretty cool to see. We're going to get a brand new story, which is amazing. I'm surprised that they've done enough work that they're going to be rolling out a whole new story for this season. I am kind of curious, as the year goes, to see how this goes. I'm wondering if every season we're going to get a new story, or if eventually, say I don't know, season 4 or 5, like once we made it through a year, maybe they'll like restart the story from the beginning for those who are joining later on, and then like re-go through all of them. I'm not sure, but with them doing new stories like this, it's pretty cool because it's going to help the playability of this game and maintaining people. We will be getting new heroes in this next season. There's going to be 30 heroes added, 17 that are legendaries, and we're getting 3 new schools of damage, which is the Burn, Thunderbolt, and Ice Blast. So my guess is that the new heroes are probably going to be landing in these 3 categories, because if we're adding 3 categories, we're going to need heroes to fill those slots. So there's definitely got to be quite a few who are in these new damage dealing categories. Some people are thinking that these are like added to the elements. Like right now we have, fire, ice, necro, radiant, and so forth. I don't believe from my reading of this that this is being added to that. This is just a damage type. So like right now in ice we have frost. Now they're going to be adding ice blast. And dauntless we have, in lightning we have dauntless. They're probably be adding thunderbolt to that. And then in fire we have wild, and it looks like they're adding burn to that. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but from reading this is what I believe that's going to be for. Like I said, could be wrong, just my speculation, but these will be pretty cool. So burn, we're going to get some AoE burn damage, where it's the splash damage to other enemies. We're going to have to play around with this. I'm wondering if this is going to go along with enlightenment. I'm not 100% sure. Lightning is going to be also specializing some AoE damage. Looks like that it's going to be doing the lightning chains where damage goes in between people on the map. And then the ice blast is going to be specializing in single target attacks. So I think this one's going to be really good for boss fights, which makes me think that these characters are going to end up being really, really good for pushing like vortex and stuff like that. And we're of course going to be getting some new equipments. We have the Inventor's Inspiration. Each time a battle skill or ultimate skill is cast, the wearer obtains 1 stack of damage bonus, and there's an upper limit to the duration of the stack numbers. This could be very interesting. All of these could be very interesting to play around with and see how they end up working. The Abyssal Curse, the indirect damage dealt by the wearer ignores a certain percentage of defense. So kind of like going into the artifacts right now, we're using Executioner set. This is going to help also ignore some more defense. That's going to be really good. Emperor's Might, the wearer deals increased damage based on the difference between the value of the wearer's attack and the target's attack. The maximum damage bonus is 50%. This one I'm very curious to see how it's going to work. I think there's going to be a lot of good uses for this, and depending on how this ends up working out, this could end up being a fairly OP thing. And especially because it says just the difference between them, so it doesn't say whether if your attack is much higher or their attack is much higher. So it looks like you might be able to build someone with a low attack and still have some effectiveness out of this. I don't know, there'll be some interesting builds to try out with that, which I'm sure you're going to want to just be stacking like solid attacks. So something like this on a Vorash with a ton of attack is going to probably deal some major damage. Cyril's Whisper. When the wearer successfully inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all allies gain extra but unstackable attack that lasts for a certain period. So it's going to be really good to put on your support units in order to also help out your attack units. Hopefully it has some accuracy on it since it has to do with inflicting debuffs. And Mona Lisa's Blessing. After casting an ultimate, the wearer heals the ally with the lowest percentage HP. So this is going to be really good for our units like our ice units and necro, because they don't have a lot of good healers in the epic and rare categories. So this will help out with some of that. So these will be some good ones to get. We'll see how this works out. I think that's going to be pretty good too. Then we're going to be getting 14 new artifacts, including 3 exclusive, 9 legendary, 2 epic. The 3 exclusives I'm sure are going to be for some of the new heroes. And the 2 epic, I'm definitely curious to see what they are, because the epic are the easiest to get. In Season 0, I did not have very many epic artifacts. After I did all my pulls into Season 1, I was able to obtain all of them. So if you guys played all the way through the season, there's a good chance after you do your pulls using up all your dice, you should be able to get most of the epics, if not all of them, next season. We're going to get a brand new monster, Mushroom Broodmother, which looks like this is going in Fey Meander, and this one, I'm wondering if it's going to replace the Fey or if it's just going to be rotated into the floors. I have a feeling we'll still have the current Fey boss, and this is going to be rotated in, giving us a more variety, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so we'll have to see when that comes out. And then Mechatork, a new Otherworld exploration boss, which is a giant robot. So this one sounds like it'll be pretty interesting. So we get new exploration boss. And then all 8 dungeon bosses are going to be upgraded. So they're going to have new mechanics. So we get to play around with the new bosses and see how it goes. This was stuff that we remember in Season 0 they were saying would be in effect in the seasons where they're going to be changing the mechanics, and nothing changed going to Season 1. But that's because I think that Season 0 was basically Season 1, but just not as much stuff in it. And then that was them testing it to revamp it and launch Season 1. So that's why now we're going to get a lot more of these new changes. These brand new events are going to be for summoning based off of the tickets that you're getting at the end of the season. So keep that in mind. These are going to be people who are in the top tiers to help you get some guaranteed legendaries right when the season starts. And then we got the elemental affinities. Maybe if I get some time, I'm going to go through and do just some brainstorming and seeing some people that I would like to put together. So this will be very good to see. For the most part, that's really it. The main things to take away from this is remembering that these servers are going to start merging on December 15th. And then if you're trying to get on a certain server with your friends, you will have that opportunity, but it's going to be limited to the ones that you're doing on the day of, the ones that they are transferring on the day of. So keep that in mind. So you may not be able to just transfer to any server you want. So it's going to have to be on the ones that are launched that day. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hope this helps some of you out. Y'all have a good one.